Recording. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Whether you're watching this recorded or you're hopping on live with us, Kayla and I are so excited that you are here. We want to just share a little bit of what has been on our heart and then introduce you to our two amazing leaders, Dawn and Michelle. So we all just got back from Utah. It was our global conference with LifeVantage, which was incredibly eye-opening and inspiring. And then Kayla and I were fortunate enough to stay for something called Growth Summit. And that's where the company takes care of you, pampers you, and nurtures you in growing your leadership skills. And so both were just incredible for us. And we came back just feeling stirred in our hearts to share and kind of share our reignited passion for LifeVantage. And so whether you're brand new or you've been kind of watching from the sidelines, we 100% believe that you are here for a reason, and we are so glad that you are here. So we both kind of had wake-up calls when we were in Utah. And so, Kayla, what was one thing that just sort of lit a fire in you, either at conference or Growth Summit?
Two things that there were like two specific things. There were like a lot of different moments, but like as a whole, one of them was just how much you know that the corporate staff, and I know that we hear this like with every company. Here's the thing, I've been with a lot of companies, like network marketing has always been a kind of my side business as far as, when I was a teacher, it was always something that I was able to utilize to have an extra little side income because teachers don't make a whole lot of money. And I can for sure 100% without a doubt tell you that there is no corporate staff LifeVantage. And the CEO sitting down with us, and just multiple people sitting down with us saying, "Hey, I want to come have lunch with you." They'll text us on the side. They treat us like friends, and there's like no intimidation factor there of, they're higher than us. Just that feeling alone is so special and I think so important for the company that you're wanting to join or really just like build with or dive deeper in. So that was one thing. And then the other thing was, I have built my business on a lot of being an influencer. I hate that word, but that is what it is. That is how people would identify it. And there's a lot of attraction marketing that goes into my business. And just seeing these people, and I'm just going to be really frank with you, be multimillionaires and have zero social media following was just like, oh, okay, wait, people can do this. Because the last company that I was with and I was building with, a lot of them joined me because they wanted to be an influencer, and you can't duplicate that necessarily. I can give you tools. Any influencer can give you tools. Whether it ends up working out or not is who knows, but anyone can do this business, and that was so eye-opening. And I was like, wow, oh, we can duplicate this. We can help people succeed here without them thinking they have to be a Kayla or be a Tracy in this industry. And the thing I actually love about this company is that influencer world is very brand new. So this company was built on non-influencers. Tracy and I just started this trail here and they're like, "Wait, what is this?" And so I just love that the everyday gal, I hate to say it like that, but the people that don't want to be on social media or don't have a big social media following, can be successful here. If you have a heart, if you like helping others, if you just want something extra for your family financially, like you can do it however you want here. So those are my two big takeaways.
I would echo that because like I was recognized for hitting a rank that an Amish man hit. Like literally they phone in their orders. They have to ride their horse and buggy to a telephone to call in their orders. And he has the same volume under him that I do. And so that was literally just like mind blowing. Anybody who thinks they can't do this, if an Amish dude can do it, I promise you that you can do it too. And another thing that I just cannot get over is how the income can be so much more stable because of the subscriptions. And if you really teach people the value of these products, we have the science, they are not on trial. LifeVantage is so passionate about studying these products even after they've been released. They continue to study them to figure out what's working, what's not, why is it working, what if we combine these things? And so the science is there. And so if you can teach people the value of these products, those subscriptions are going to free up some of the time that we have spent month after month after month trying to get new orders with pickup or some of the other brands that we have done. When you get people believing and feeling a difference on a product and you get them on a subscription, it's like mind-boggling how freeing that can be with your time and your financial peace. So those were two things that really hit home for me. And like, why am I not being louder about this? So many people want both more time and more money. So yeah, Kayla, would you like, what did you realize about the potential most? Income, time, impact, kind of the same?
Yeah, kind of the same. And it was actually a couple times that I've been home too. If you guys don't know anything about mine and Tracy's business, a lot of it is makeup, a lot of it is beauty, and that is something that you are continuing to sell every day. It's not like you get to take kind of a week off. We actually stress out if we have to take a week off. So something that really hit home was when I came home and my son the next day just wanted to be on the couch with me. And all I kept thinking about was I have to work. I have to work. I have to work. I have to work. I have to make money. This month is really slow. Um, and my husband's on L&I right now, and he might have to have a surgery. And so there was just like all of these things going through my brain, and I was just like, why am I not wait, why am I not just sitting here with my son? And that was really, I don't know. And then that's just kind of when it just kept going. And then Tracy knows I'll voice message her and I'm like, as I promised I wasn't going to build again after a St. Win affiliate. But I'm like, there's a reason that this keeps being on my heart. And that was part of it. And I'm like, what other mom has that, has her 5-year-old sitting next to her that just wants her to play with him and she feels like she can't. So,
Like we're there physically, but we're not mentally because we're constantly thinking about what needs to be done and what needs to be sold. And it's almost more draining than if I sometimes tell my husband I'm jealous. Like you get to go to work for 9 hours a day and be completely focused and then turn off and come home. Like I can't even fathom what that would be like. And so Kayla and I were both in a similar spot before going out to Utah of just like, we were struggling because we are influencers and we didn't know after Saint if we could really teach people how to do what we have done. And so that was a huge wake-up call for us in Utah is I'll let you explain, Kayla.
which part?
Wake-up call of like we don't have to necessarily teach everyone the way we've done it
Correct.
because if the Amish dude can do it,
Yeah.
the people who don't have any social media following can do it, and that's where
Yeah.
we're so
Well,
thankful
and it
that we have.
wasn't just that one Amish dude. There were all these Amish people and they were all my rank. And I was like, wait, well, this is crazy. And so I just kept thinking, and Dawn says this all the time. She says, um, can you believe Michelle and Sean built their business on a little yellow pill? And I'm like, that is so wild to think about. And Dawn and Michelle are both on social media, but not in the same way Tracy and I are. And I think it's probably more recently, Michelle, right? Within the last couple of years, you were even on social media. Um, like fully like doing things like I don't even know if you do reels. Um, but yeah, I was like, it doesn't have to be just us. It can be a whole team effort in teaching people how to duplicate this. You're not lame. But so just how they're learning social media from us, we're learning from them and how to really try and duplicate businesses not being viral on social media. So if you guys don't know who these people are, Tracy is actually my upline. We kind of do everything business together. Dawn is Tracy's upline and Michelle's our big mom. She's our big mom. We follow under her beautiful umbrella. So we were just going to kind of give the floor to them. I think Tracy had a couple questions for them on maybe how they built, their business, things like that. So, Tracy, did you have those questions that maybe you
Yeah.
wanted?
Yeah, so we just really wanted to introduce you to Michelle and Dawn because they've been telling us for forever, like, we can help you with this. We want to help you. We want to pour into your people. And I think Kayla and I had some guilt or something like, well, no, if there are people, we have to do it all ourselves. Like, no, there's something so beautiful in LifeVantage when people come together and share their strengths. And like, we can help with social media type coaching, but they can help in an entirely different way. So we just really wanted to bring them on so that you could get to know them and know that they are here to help you and love on you. So, the questions that I have are, well, first, I'd like you just to share how long you've been with LifeVantage, and then like, why did you say yes to LifeVantage? Go
So
ahead,
I
Kayla.
go first. I joined in July or almost 3 years ago. So just under 3 years, and I joined with the launch of collagen because I was also in the skincare industry and had not seen people's faces change like they were with skincare, like they were with collagen. And so got really excited about that. And I had been on products for 10 years, but the little yellow pill, like Kayla mentioned, wasn't exciting to me. I didn't understand what I was taking because I wanted it, I needed it, but I wasn't excited about selling it. I'm excited about selling it now. But yeah, 2.5 years, three almost.
It's so crazy because she was at our house when it was launching, and I watched her take her first drink of the activated liquid collagen, and it was so exciting because, well, for a multitude of reasons, but to have your friend there and to be at a place where you see so many lives are changing, and then the days and the months ahead, because we were fortunate to get it like a couple months before it launched. And Dawn literally watched, and the same thing I know happened with Tracy when Dawn shared it with Tracy. She literally watched my husband's face transform in front of her eyes. She's like, "Oh my gosh, Michelle, your husband doesn't look like the angry guy anymore." And so it was just so funny, but it also changed for me as well. Like, my under eyes, my hairline, I started growing all these hairs. If you start our activated liquid collagen, you might start growing some new hairs and some new things and whatnot. But it's just so exciting. And I love listening to the two of you with all of this because I just have to say, it was hard for me when I first got started. And it'll be 14 years ago in March that we joined. And we were a girlfriend of mine who was a dietitian at the Heart Hospital here in Sioux Falls said, "Michelle, you got to check this out. This is legit. There's an ABC primetime investigative report." And I was like, "What, what, what, what?" And she had to follow up with me a million times. Does anybody ever have to be followed up with? There's a lot of things out there in the world. And what makes this better than that? And there's just, and there's just so much. But I knew her coming to me, she was not a person that ever hyped anything. She would actually be annoyed because she was a dietitian. She still is. She's, because of LifeVantage, has been able to retire from her job at the Heart Hospital. She was able to retire. Her boss that started the dietitian and nutrition program at the Heart Hospital has retired because of LifeVantage. The cardiologist that shared this with her has retired from the Heart Hospital. A cardiologist, you guys, retired because of LifeVantage and brought their family, this amazing stability, and the others before them. And she just said, "This is legit." Well, she did not know I was super sick. I had doctored at Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, all these places for a good decade, and they could never figure out what was wrong with me. We actually moved to South Dakota to where we live because we didn't know how much longer I was going to live. And that's how bad it was. And they couldn't figure anything out. She also didn't know my dad died of a heart attack at the age of 42. She also didn't know that my husband literally was being suffocated at his job, having to lay people off, coming home for him. You guys, both of you, all three of you know my husband very well. And he wanted to be a game show host. He wanted to be this fun guy. Well, it was taking literally his soul from him. Like the fun factor, I've known him since 6th grade, was being taken away. She didn't know that that was happening. Anybody out there have stress financially at home? It is legit. It was hard. It was taking his soul away. I worked in the mortgage industry. It was during the mortgage meltdown. I'm just saying, health, finances, joy, peace was not all there, but we kept fighting, right? You just keep fighting and you keep pushing through. And Kayla, when you were talking about, being on the couch with your loved one, your little one, like that's what life is. It's our people. And so when she shared this with me, I was like, okay, Nikki never shares stuff like this. And there was an ABC Primetime Investigative Report. So I watched that. And while it is old, if you haven't seen it, make sure you get with Kayla and Tracy and watch it. Yes, it's from 2005. It's 20 years old. But guess what? There is not one product, no nutraceutical company or pharmaceutical company on the planet can make the claims that we can make still today. So yes, we built our business on Protandim, 40 PV at a time, but the stability, we still have people buying it, taking it 14 years later, and we are getting paid on that every single month. So why did I join? Because I tried to disprove the product, and you can't. You just can't. It's in pubmed.gov. So for any of you medical out there, after I got on the product, not making medical claims, but I'd never had to go back to the doctors like I was having to go back to, except for now, it's all for prevention. So it became a mission to help people one by one by one. And I made all the mistakes. I'm still not perfect by any means, but I was passionate and I cared about humans. I could talk forever, but I'll stop there because you got lots of questions. So
I never get sick of hearing your story though, because you basically went from like your deathbed to like giving so many people hope and health. And it's just
what it's
mind-
about.
Yeah.
It's hope.
Okay, so two other questions. What kept you going in the slow seasons? And then what advice would you give someone who's scared to start or feeling stuck or has never really launched, but they feel this tug on their heart? Like, I know these products in this business can change people's lives.
I can go first again. So I would say like slow seasons, I've really focused on customers and acquiring new customers and then, really focused on making sure they're getting the things they want out of the products. That to me has been, something that's kept me going. And then obviously digging into the team and seeing where people are and who wants to run that, always kind of ignites a fire in me. But I would say, for many months now, my check has been about the same. So, from 4 or 5 months ago when we, really took off, of course, there's been a little bit of a dip because we had a huge mind body launch. But shortly after that time, my paycheck has stayed the same. So that is peace, knowing that that amount of money is going to be coming into our family every month. That has been a lot of peace. I also would say something that's kept me going is the company and our team has a lot of offerings as far as like different Zoom calls every single week, whether it's product based or business based, and then amazing fun incentives that have been something that I've worked to achieve every single time. Those things have really kept me going. So I appreciate all those things. And I forgot your second question.
What advice would you give someone who feels stuck or unsure if they should take the leap and do this?
Yeah, I would say honestly, anybody that's going to listen to this call, if they're feeling stuck or not knowing what to do, request a one-on-one time with either of you two, Michelle and I, and let's figure out a game plan for you because it is just like a couple, right? A husband and a wife have different strengths. And if you lean into your strengths and your spouse leans into their strengths, it's like a beautiful thing. That's the same thing in this business where you guys can lean into your strengths. Like, I wish I could sell like you. I just can't right now, maybe someday, right? But right now, I don't sell like you, but I love working with the people. So if we lean into each other's strengths, that's a beautiful marriage. So anybody that's feeling stuck or not knowing what to do next, plugging into us and like, let's find your strengths and let's run with those. We don't have to be Kayla or Tracy or Michelle or Dawn. We just have to be the best of us.
I love that.
I love, if you don't mind, I love, because you guys had mentioned it a little bit and Dawn, you just did as well. It was so hard for me in the beginning to reach out and ask for help. It was because I was raised by a single mom and I started working when I was 13 and everything that I've ever done, which is great and fine, but I've had to figure out on my own. Right? It's just how it is. And I had never done a business like this before. LifeVantage has been our only company like this. And so when we came in, we had people that are like, we're here to help. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And I didn't know them at all. I only knew Nikki. And so I was like, number one, I didn't know the people. Number two, I felt bad reaching out because they're busy. They have families, they have businesses, they've got things. And then they kept saying, we're here to help. We're here to help. Come on. We see you putting in orders, but we're not hearing from you. And so I was like, I'm okay. And they were like, no, the system here is we do it together. And so finally, I had to listen to the leaders. And I was like, I have to become a good student. If I want to do this business is different than everything else. I have to become a student of this profession. And these people have our best interests at hand. When Kayla and Tracy were talking about the leadership of the company, the heart of the company, and the corporate staff, like they genuinely care. I thank God every day, multiple times a day, because it's real. And that is one of my biggest things when somebody comes into this company that I want them to know is that this is real. It's so real. It's so stable. It's so like, I just got off of a call with a gentleman that's going to be on Dave Asprey's stage at the end of the month. And he is so jacked up about our products, right? And he only cares about real science. Everything else is just out there. So the moment my business changed, or Sean and my business changed, I'm telling you, is when I started reaching out to the team and asking for help. And that was on a variety of things. How do I find out things like within the back office? How do I talk to somebody if, like I have a friend down the street and they've got something going on with their health? Well, I was still learning. We always say you learn as you earn. So while you're talking with somebody, you can reach out to all of us and be like, hey, I've got this person that I want to talk to. I want to share with them, but how shall I approach them? Come to us with that. Like, we know how to fast track. The faster that we all work together, the faster we bless more. And that's what we're about. We are about making a difference one person at a time. A difference. And that domino effect, that butterfly effect, it goes out there. And I'm telling you, the moment that I changed that, everything changed because everybody has different stories. And I love too, Don, what you were saying about everybody's strengths. God gives us all different personalities, different strengths, different passions, different everything. And when we can all come together as one, holy cow, when you guys were talking, Kayla and Tracy, when you were saying, we've got this social media aspect, these guys have built it this way. I was sitting here in my mind being like, I had chills. And like anybody that joins your guys' team to have like that as a whole, like you can learn from Kayla Tracy, you can learn from, the ways that we've done it. And we've got so many other, and Dawn mentioned the different tools. You guys can be unstoppable in whatever it is. And that's another, like I have my cheesy dream hat on, but it's real, right? Like you can create what you want in life. And it doesn't matter if you are 18 or if you're 90. And I think that's what you guys saw too at the convention and at Growth Summit is people will ask us, how do we dress or what do we do? And we always say, show up as you. Be comfortable, be you, because you're going to have people in jeans, you're going to have people in dresses, you're going to have people in shorts, you're going to have babies, you're going to have elderly, you're going to have wheelchair, you're going to have the whole thing. But we're all rowing in the same direction to make a difference with products that do make a difference and a compensation plan that pays month after month after month with a company that is publicly traded on the NASDAQ. That's huge, you guys. I want you to know Erin Brockovich has been on our board. She was on our board for a good 5 years. If there was something not so fabulous, the world would know. She screams about this from the rooftops. So to know that not only you have a team here to support you, be vulnerable because that's just who we are. I asked Kayla and Tracy, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's grad time. I'm going to come. I'm just going to be a hot mess, just so you know. But it's we are who we are with this company. When you have people that are there for you, company that pays and shows up on time, transparency, you've got science, it's a perfect storm. I'm a passionate person. I'm not a hype person. I'm a passionate person. I'll be crazy and wild, but I will never hype something that is not beneficial to you and yours ever. And this is a mission and this is real. Anyway, I didn't really answer your question. I just get excited about some things.
You did so good. That was perfect. I would like to add that it's so untapped. So few people know
Go on tap.
advantage. And that was another thing that just really struck home. I'm like, I'm being so selfish not talking about this because although we're publicly traded and debt free, very few people know who we are. So
True.
being loud and doing it scared, I think that's the thing that
Yes.
I had to learn in the beginning of showing up and sharing things I love is you're never going to feel like, okay, I'm totally ready to do this. Even
Never.
Kayla and I being like, okay, we really want to focus on team building. It's scary because it's new, but sometimes you just have to do things scared to elevate your life to that next level. And there are so many people that need these products and need this business and the way it can change your life. So if you're here and you're feeling like, okay, what am I doing? Why am I not doing this? I'm scared. It's okay that you're scared. I say just go for it because everything that I've ever found in life that was worth finding was on the other side of being scared and just acting and doing it anyway. So Kayla and I are both here. These ladies have incredible systems, team pages, chats, things that we can plug you into so that any questions you have, you can literally go in there and it's like a Google. So I just feel like we really couldn't be in a better place with all of our strengths combined. And if you're watching live and you're like, okay, I want to do this, I'm going to encourage you to get on the call tonight at 8, the beginning of the 90-day run. I'm going to be training on how to take the stories that you're hearing and share them in on social media, but it's not all going to be social media related. It's just going to be people's stories with these products. And once you start hearing the stories, like tonight, the gal that's sharing, she and her husband went through IVF twice, could not afford a third baby. I cry when I think about it because NRF2 increased his testosterone. It's the only thing that did. And they have their third baby because of this little yellow pill. Like when you hear stories like that, it's like, what the crap am I doing? You know, like who doesn't know somebody struggling with infertility? So show up, hear the stories. When you hear the stories, you're going to get excited to share. And maybe your sharing looks different than mine or Kayla's online. Go to Dawn and Michelle and be like, how do I share this? How do I get in front of people who need this? So we are all here to help you. Dawn is more than happy to do a one-on-one with you if you're like, and I can get on or Kayla can get on if you want us there. But like, she's really good at mapping out like, okay, I want to make this much, or I want my life to change in this way. And she can help you kind of map that out. And Michelle will just fill your heart with joy every time you hear her talk or see her type. She has so many emojis, so many emojis.
I had family that said you probably should have been born like in the Egyptian times because like all the hieroglyphics. I'm like, well, that's how I speak. I speak in emoji. It's language.
She really does. And until you meet her, you're like, is this real? And then you meet her and you're like, oh yeah, that was totally real. Like that's just Michelle. She's so full of life and love. So I think we covered everything, right?
We did, but I also want to share that this business can fit in any pocket of time. If you have 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, I mean, I've had this guy back in the background this entire time, and it's like that never would have been possible before without businesses like this. So, I mean, he's here. He knows that I'm like paying attention, but he still gets to feel my presence here, and that has become so important to me. The messy office doesn't matter to me like it used to 2 years ago. So anyway.
And like our kids are friends now, Kayla and mine. Like we never would have met if it weren't for this. Like the friendships and the camaraderie and the like doing life together. Like Michelle's husband is going through it right now and we're texting and praying and like you truly do develop, like you become best friends sometimes with people you've never met and then you get to meet them in real life and squeeze them and it's like the best moment. So there's really just nothing bad I can say. So but
It
it's
is
real.
that one of those things where you're like, is this too good to be true? And this is like 14 years, you guys, later. I think, you're saying that, Kayla. Our kids we started when they were 4 and 6. 4 and 6, and now they're 18 and almost 21. And it's what they know, and then the people. But they've been able to have mom and dad home because with the little yellow pill, we retired my husband within 9 months of starting, never having done network marketing, never had a social media presence, I didn't know anything about anything. But I was passionate to help others. And so when you talk about the nooks and the crannies, I was sick. We had a lady living with us from Spain. We had our 2 little kids. We had our businesses. And then we also had an online, like, kids DVD, like this other business. I had 0 time. I was the definition of no time, especially with how sick I was. But number 1, busy people get things done. But number 2, it can be like you grab your phone, you're in the car, you know, you're picking up your kids and you got a couple minutes and you can return a couple texts, or you can voice message somebody and be, oh my gosh, I've been thinking about you today. You've got to see this, you know, whatever it is. And people love, like, Kayla, I love your kids are in the background. I love a business where your kids and your family can be included. I love a business where I don't, like, here I am, right? You don't have to be like perfect and show up, and all people want to see you for you, you know, and you can be and do it at any time. And that's so refreshing in today's world, is that we can all be there, be ourselves. And like I said, just be vulnerable, reach out. That was the hardest thing for me. We want to hear from you. I get jacked up when I hear from people. I literally do, because we want to help. If our mission really wasn't to help people, it would be very different. But our mission is to help people one by one. So yeah, it's the most insane blessing. And I'm just gonna, like, say one last thing, because you were talking about Sean, and I know in the beginning you talked about stability. My husband has honestly not been able, he has a herniated and bulging disc from C2 to C7, hitting his nerves, and he literally has not been able to work basically for 3.5 months. And I have had to be by his side that whole time, driving him to and from appointments, and it's been nonstop. So time, you need time in your life when you need time, and you don't know when you're going to need that time. It's just going to come up. Finances, I had a hard time at the global convention, because I was like, I want to say how much it's going to cost, but I don't, I'm one that doesn't like just talk about money and throw things out. But it was like, you know, and I talked to a girlfriend, and she's like, Michelle, it's fine, because people go through bankruptcies, and they go through these things. Like, I've spent just in the last week and a half, like, it was over 6 figures on different things for him and for our daughter as well. There's no way. And we say we will do whatever it takes. And the world doesn't know that we're doing all this and that, because it's fine. But to have that peace that we can pay for whatever it takes to get our humans healthy, right? Or friends and family, or charities, churches. You want to give back big, like when our church is expanding and doing things, and we're like, I want to help. Like, you can do those things. But when you can have those things, and when you can step away from a business because you have built a team and a stable business where people are taking the products day after day, day after day, then you have other teams and people that are out there doing the deal. That's, I can't stress it enough. It's peace that you need in your life, because we're all going to go through it at some point. And it's truly, truly, truly a gift that everybody needs.
Amen. Okay, thank you, ladies, so much for sharing your hearts, sharing your time, and just being there for us and our teams. And we are just so thankful, and we love you dearly. So if you have any questions, get back to whoever asked you here to watch this, and we are happy to help you find your way at LifeVantage, because it truly is one of the best places you can possibly be.
Yes.
Listen to your heart.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay, I love you. Jesus loves you more. Holler at us if you have any questions, and we hope to talk to you soon. Okay, nice.